Hi, my name is Jocelyn, and I'm one of the social workers here at the Chatham-Kent Community Health Centres. With this ongoing pandemic, it's normal to experience increase of worry and stress, and so we've created a set of mini series to help support your mental health during this time. The two other videos were about anxiety, breathing strategies, applying mindfulness, relaxation strategies when we're feeling anxiety and stress. This video is a little bit different in learning how to kind of navigate social media and news, as well as offering you some helpful communication skills. So it's really normal to become overwhelmed with so much news and so many different sources of information. Sifting through the amount of information right now can be really difficult and easily kind of weigh on our mood. So a few tips to kind of consider when you're accessing information is learning how to, first of all, even reduce that a little bit. So first of all, making sure that you're accessing information that's coming from a reliable and credible source. So possibly like a local newspaper, whether that's online or the physical copy. The CDC, so the Center for Disease and Control of Prevention, is a great resource as well as the Chatham-Kent Public Health website is another reliable source to access your information. So just checking in with yourself and asking, where did I get this information from? Is this source credible? Is this from a place that does background checks and has research backing it up? Or is it kind of gossip that has been coming around from friends or peers that I've been hearing and I've been passing on that information? So checking in with yourself. Also kind of noticing when we're on social media, very often there can be a lot of clickbait type of articles. So what this means is articles that have a statement that really grab you and pull you in. And so noticing again, before we click on that, of noticing, okay, what's this website called, right? And is it from a credible website where I can get this information from, or can I just notice that this title really drew me in and I don't need to engage in it because it might increase my anxiety and I have all the information I need from a local source. Another thing to consider is possibly limiting the time of day when you access this information. So if you notice that you are in the morning scrolling through on your phone or tablet or computer, and once that's over, you kind of feel heavy or anxious and stressed again, perhaps it might be better for you to not look at any sources in the morning and wait until the afternoon or at nighttime when you feel that you're in a better mental state. So really kind of checking in with yourself to see what works best for you. Right now it's difficult. We often are confronted on social media with so many different sources and information coming at us, and learning how to navigate that can be a real skill set. We're used to reading a newspaper and it being done once we're finished it, and now with social media there's no end to our scrolling, and it's almost as if going down the rabbit hole. So just being aware of that as well. Facebook is one social media platform that does have a function where you can actually snooze friends. If you find that they're posting information that's overwhelming for you or triggering for you or just kind of increases stress and anxiety. So we will link a YouTube link to this just for you to kind of figure out how to snooze that friend on Facebook. And it's just a 30-day snooze and they have no idea that you're doing it. And it's a way for you to kind of make sure that you can keep your mental health in check and take care of yourself. Lastly, the tip for navigating news and social media is just to really check in with yourself and do a self-assessment and reflection after reading the information and even before. So asking yourself, what's driving me to seek out more information right now? Has it been a whole day and I want to see what the new updated information is? Or have I already looked at the media today and I have all the information I need to get? And now I'm continuing to go down to that rabbit hole and increasing my anxiety or stress. How do I feel after I've gotten this information? Has it motivated me to continue to be diligent with my masking protocols, my hand washing, my social distancing? Or is it putting me in a state where I struggle to even leave my house to get groceries? I have heightened anxiety when I go to the grocery store, right? So that's what we were kind of talking about in the first video about anxiety, and learning how to work through that anxiety. So also kind of knowing what can increase kind of that anxiety, and can we reduce those parts of our life if they are increasing our anxiety. Another thing to really have great skill in is learning how to communicate with others, especially during this time when maybe people don't have the same opinion as you. Online, it can be really easy to physically walk away or leave the conversation. However, not always the case in person, right? So in all of our conversations, regardless of the situation, we want to use what we call assertive communication. And this is when we're direct and we're honest and we're able to still be respectful of ourselves and other people. So an assertive communication skill called I statements is a great way to express your needs without blaming others. So during an I statement, you start with stating how you feel, what the situation or behavior was, and how it's affecting you. So one example would be saying, I feel overwhelmed when we only talk about the virus and I need a break from this discussion. Otherwise, I notice that I can become anxious for a long period of time and have difficulty doing daily tasks. When there's a disagreement, it can also be helpful to acknowledge the other person's perspective without putting them down or shaming them, but just simply state that you feel otherwise. So perhaps just stating, I completely understand what you're saying, but I have to disagree. And that's okay. We are not all going to have the same opinion. Remember that assertive communication also is not just it's not just what we're saying, but it's also how we're saying it. So taking note of our posture, our eye contact, our tone of voice, those are all factors that contribute to being assertive. It's really helpful to also stay calm when we're expressing ourselves assertively. And this is where our mindfulness and our informal mindfulness can really come into play. So practicing that on a daily basis so that you can become more assertive in your communication. One tip is to rehearse what you would like to say by taking space, writing out a few different potential assertive statements, and either practicing them in the mirror or with a friend who can give you some feedback before you share those assertive statements with that other person. Lastly, an important piece with assertive communication is to also admit when you don't know enough information, when you need to maybe do some more research, or if you learn that you had accurate information in the first place and have to come back and be accountable for that. And with how fast news is changing right now, it's really common to have outdated information fast or to be misinformed. And this is no reflection of you as a person, remember that. But being open to learning and being flexible, especially during this time, are skills that are going to support you in your life long term past this. So with that, that's the conclusion of our mini series on how to navigate your social media during this time. I hope that you've been able to take away a few skills that we've talked about and that you're able to kind of support your mental health during this time using those skills. Thanks for listening.